Welcome back to ESL Pro League, and I don't think anyone saw that one coming. This is the Xfinity Analyst Desk, and, well, they've done it. Complexity has upset SK. How's everyone feeling?
Do we have to talk about it?
We do a little bit.
We do.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, we touched on it when we were out on the couch just watching the game. This has massive playoff implications, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Like, this was supposed to be one of the games that SK kind of breezes through.
Yeah.
They separate themselves from Luminosity, who are currently sitting in the spot behind them. And, you know, they just go on about their day. That's definitely not been the case. Now they're in a position where they have one game more played than Luminosity, but they're only 2 points ahead. Obviously, they can still kind of sort things out by winning a game, the game that's coming up, but still, it does leave Luminosity within a chance to actually take out the other Brazilian team of the league.
Well, we can bring up the head-to-head, and we'll talk over it a little bit, Pimp, because, you know, certainly if you think that Complexity is going to upset SK Gaming, it would be some kind of a close affair. This was 16-6, and if you even just look at the scores, no one from SK showing up in this game. I mean, Fallen's the only one with a positive kill-death record.
Yeah, I mean, Cold Steel tried a little bit as well, but didn't really get fired up. Stu 2K having a rough showing against a team that he normally, you know, this is bread and butter for Stu 2K, running around just being superior individual skill-wise, not able to get anything done in this one. And as you said, you know, a complete washout from SK Gaming. They didn't really have anything to offer on that T side, and for some reason, it was just easy for Android and Yaster to run around and do all that damage.
It's actually surprising to see SK be so flat on a T side on a map like Cash, because if what you've planned doesn't work, you can pug your way out of that map in a big way. And at that point, it comes down to, yes, it's going to be hard when you're up against, like, a structured defense and whatnot, but just individual differences between the two teams should be enough to actually carry you through to a couple of more rounds at that point, even if you're just doing very basic pugs at strats. So it's not necessarily just SK being off from a strategical point of view, but just on the individual side of it, it's just not good enough.
Are either of you sounding the alarm bells quite yet for this SK lineup? Still early.
I kind of did that on day one when they went 1-5. Obviously, that is a bit rash and it is a bit early, but I don't think this is a roster move that's going to last any longer than the end of the next major. That's where I'm looking at it. Obviously, contracts may change things or something like that, but I don't see this having longevity. I think it's too much of an issue necessarily having 4 people cater to one guy in terms of communication. They have to speak their second language, especially when it's been such a vital part of their previous success, right? The fact that they're just so good at communicating in Portuguese. And I think that toll, unless they see some rather instant success once they start going into these big tournaments, that's going to be something that they can't overlook.
Pimp, any last thoughts before we move on to Train, the second map in the series that we still have yet to play?
Yet to play, yeah. I mean, I definitely agree with what Helva is saying. I kind of can't figure out whatever. It's just SK being in a really bad period because they were bad with Taco as well in the end, you know. So they may have to play their way out of it. And we know Fallen, we know Code Zero, we know Fur for that matter. You know, one of the best or some of the best players in the entire world. So whenever they play well, you know, they have to be a top 5 team in the world because they're simply too good not to be. Yeah. So at some point it's gonna work, but whatever, it's gonna last longer than a major. I'm not really sure. They're not gonna win the next major. I don't think so. Cool.
Surely Train, we're gonna see a turnaround though. I mean, this is a map that we know SK is good on. You've got the Opping of Fallen that you can rely on. He was the best player for SK on Cash. Surely. I don't know how else to phrase this question. Can it happen twice?
No.
Lightning has been known to strike twice, though. You know, even though the saying goes against that.
We've heard some stories about some people.
I mean, there's a Ranger somewhere in Texas who's been struck by lightning 7 times, so I can definitely see Complexity winning twice versus SK.
Okay. Do you think it's going to happen? I mean, do you think...
No, I don't.
Okay. So the individual efforts out of Ye, even PTR had a good game.
Yeah.
Out of Android, they can't keep that up across 2 maps.
No, I think it's too much, like too many things that need to go the way of Complexity right after each other for that to actually go into fruition. Pretty much everyone on Complexity this time around had, you know, a positive impact outside of Slummy, but Slummy, again, he's kind of steering the ship, so you can excuse him for not necessarily fragging out. But yeah, I have a hard time seeing that happen twice.
Fun thing about Train is its Complexity's map, you know. We just saw SK lose on Cash, which was their pick. So Complexity, we've seen them play Train a few times, and it hasn't been that bad. I remember the game against Optic where they were able to push them to 16-14, losing the map despite that, but playing a great game on Train. So in that scenario, you know, I think SK is going to have their hands full because, as we saw on Cash, you know, they're not showing up individually, and if you don't do that against a team like Complexity, apparently they can scare you.
No, we didn't know beforehand, but now they can surprise you.
Yeah,
I mean, if let's say SK doesn't show up individually, they have what it takes on Train with the kind of background of this like core 4 players at least to overcome any kind of individual discrepancy there might be.
You'd say that on all maps, though. Like, so it will go in for cash as well. And you brought up the point. It's a map you can poke your way out of. So it doesn't make any sense. They were only able to bring up T rounds in that sense. Stewie 2K, Fur, and Fallen. Who else do you want on a T side on cash in that scenario? So that didn't work out. And Train is a different matter. You know, Train is a map where you can actually get locked down on the T side if you're not playing as a team or if you're not finding the opening kills. So I'm a little bit worried on SK's behalf. That said, though, Lightning will never strike twice in a scenario like this. It will be ridiculous.
Never say never. That's the only thing I've learned.
Let's say SK lose this. This will be their playoff, you know, going into the woods, most likely, if LG decides to step up.
Yeah, no, LG just have to do their job at that point and just like the bare minimum, because they've been handed this top 6 on a silver plate, if that is the case.
Yeah, they've been given a gift, right? Because they're sitting in the 7th place right now, I believe.
7th place, 2 points behind SK, and the thing is, this was supposed to be one of the easier games for SK. They still have to play Renegades.
Yep.
And Renegades have been looking pretty good as of late, so they could very easily take a map off of SK, especially in the state that they find themselves as well in right now. And you know, when it comes down to the map itself, when everything just slowly started to crumble, and when I say crumble, that's SK going from being, you know, a certified #1 to being, you know, only top 4 or only top 3 kind of team. It started with Train. That's the first thing they gave after them having being the map, it being the map that nobody wanted to play versus them, to them just starting showing weaknesses once they brought in Phelps. Again, we're seeing new aggressive player being brought into the lineup in Stewie. I think that could do you know, a little bit iffy things to their Train setup. And we also already see Coldzera playing a bit of a new role. He's no longer locked into Ivy. That's Bolt's position now. Cold is much more leaning towards that inner bomb site to help out Stewie. If that's a temporary thing or not, we don't know. But I think these kind of small changes could be awkward for SK to kind of get used to right off the bat.
What's the conversation like for SK guys over at the house in between these maps? If you just get battered by complexity, is it just like forget about it, move on? Is it you know, do you have an argument? Do you think that's going on? A new roster sometimes can flare up some kind of discussion.
I think they just have to forget about it. I think Fallen is clever enough just to tell the guys that, you know, what happened, and we can't change that now, obviously, but it's a normal thing for a new team like this, especially when you have so many factors changing. Communication, language, positions, as you spoke about, you know, especially on Train. So I think they're just, you know, ruling it out, saying, you know, that was a one-off. Now let's go in and win this one, and let's make sure to qualify for the playoff. Because despite SK may not want to, you know, say that out publicly, this means the world to them. They don't want to miss the finals in Dallas because they can't really finish top 6 in the NA Pro League. That'll be embarrassing.
Well, it's a chance at the Intel Grand Slam as well. Don't forget they have to win 2 of the next 4.
Yeah, and if they don't qualify for
events, or else they don't get it.
Yeah, $1 million to play for. That's
they're going to have to be almost perfect, actually. Yeah, if they don't qualify for Dallas, they have a total of 3 chances, and it's pretty tough to win those tournaments. We see that.
Yeah, it's not easy anymore, is it?
Exactly.
Okay, everyone's in the server. We're going to get going. Neither of you guys think Complexity is going to be able to upset twice, do you?
No, I don't think so. It has to be SK. Again, just because of the implication it would mean if they lose twice, it just...
Go with SK as well?
Yeah, that's not even double digits from Complexity. It's going to be
there we go.
It's going to be a pure revenge. Korean barbecue fans around the world unite. Going to bring in our commentators over here. We've got Trace. He did a admirable job in that first
match.
He
did what he could. Yeah.
We've got Harriet as well.
Thank you very much, Jason. Yes, this is Harry. That's his name. Don't you guys forget it. Right, Harry? Tell him, man.
Yeah, what he said.
So we're going to Train. And with that said, I don't know. I don't know that it could possibly go much worse for SK, so I'm expecting them to do considerably better. And with that, take it away, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, at least it's only up from here, right, for SK. That's how you imagine you can look at this. Fulham is having a good game, at least, and he's normally someone who looks very, very good on Train, as was Coldzera. It's just all we see Bolts, Stewie, and Fur kind of rise to the occasion. And for Complexity, can they keep that good streak going? We saw Android and Ye in particular have an utterly fantastic game. Will we see more of that?
I would say there's always a chance, Harry. You can never write off this SK Gaming lineup. I don't care how bad the lesson they just got taught on Cash was. There is a chance that it doesn't happen again. It's always the risk we take, Harry. Either way, you can look at this Complexity lineup right here. Yaster, Android, PTR, Depth. And, of course, the Slim Dog millionaire himself. And it looks like we are about 5 seconds from kicking this bad boy into gear on Train. Harry, what's the spiciest meme you can think of?
The one that I was going to say perhaps is too spicy for TV, so maybe I just won't. Maybe I'll keep my memes in my meme bucket and show them another day.
The meme bucket.
Yes.
Interesting.
Trace, you know, everyone has a meme pool of some description.
Here's a meme.
Okay.
Complexity besting SK Gaming on cash.
Here's an even bigger meme. They might be about to do it again on train. That's right, we're into the pistol round. Complexity over on the T side, and they are hungry for blood. They have tasted the they always go on about Brazilian barbecue on the desk. Yeah, they've just tried some of that, and now they're lusting for more. But I tell you what, Fur's going to go ahead and relegate 2 players back to the grave from the depths of which they came, and Bolt's going to go ahead and get 1 more. Fur tagged up, not done it just yet though. Going to back away. Disappear into relative obscurity. Android and Slemmy left. Make that just Slemmy 1v4. Does drop out coldzera, but his time might be all said and done. Bolt's going to go ahead and chime in with a third. A hat-trick for him. SK 1-0 up. They win themselves the pistol. That's the start. That's the SK we want to see.
Yes. Yes, indeed. That is the one that we want to see, or at least the SK Gaming fans want to see. We have no bias here. Don't ever forget that. 1-2 frags actually coming in for Complexity there on the pistol round. It's going to leave SK Gaming with full head armor across the board. And as you can imagine, M4s, SMG, suns out, guns out, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like they're going to be setting up in just a pretty standard defensive set here on their CT side of train. If you're just joining us, Complexity did just beat, and dare I say beat up on SK Gaming on cash.
Yeah, now just with Deagles and P250 on PTR, they're going to have a little bit to work with in this round. It wouldn't surprise me if we just see them go for an inner play. Usually that's what we see a lot of teams opt to do, because it is quite easy to get the bomb down if you can find the kills. But right now they're focusing a couple of players down here towards Ivy. Bolts is there, and he's looking like he's up to the task of trying to take the fight. He'll get tagged down once with the Deag and actually doesn't find much in return, so maybe that's enough for him to hold a more passive angle.
You know, I heard Halvor say something about lightning striking twice. And he actually just barely missed the wordplay with bolts. Just barely missed it. And Depp just barely missing that shot as well. Fallen taking him out with the scout to the dome. Tons of damage in this throwaway round for Team Complexity. The only thing that they could have hoped to have done here outside of win the round would be get the bomb down. And as it stands, that just simply is not going to happen now. Slimmy at 18 HP and a Deagle and a Dream. Can't even get back up the ladder. coldzera's waiting up there and just takes the man down himself. The Slim Dog Millionaire has been stopped, and that brings us to a 2-0.
Yeah, this is a better start for SK. We've got them finding rounds, which is always nice, always refreshing after what we just witnessed. And I think the most important thing is Bolts and Fur getting some kills early on, because oh my goodness, did they not look up to task in the previous map. That's not the usual performance we're used to seeing from you know, 3 players really within the SK roster. If you want to play the blame game, which I think, you know, you could definitely do, because otherwise it makes it sound like it's everyone's fault. It felt like Fallen and coldzera were still having a good showing, right? It was the other 3 who maybe fell a bit silent. And well, this round Fur doesn't want to get caught out on the ladder. He provides a nice bait for Cold to go on out and find that kill onto death. And he just keeps going back for more. Might come to regret that as Android taps him down with the Glock. But it's only an MP9 retrieved. Fallen in the meantime going to be able to find a yay. So 2 on 4. Stewie, a chance to make some money.
Not even doing anything that strange for that piece of change. And he's going to find another one there and in the round out there. SK Gaming starting off strong, or much stronger than they did over on Cash. 3-0 right now, but it's time for the weapons to come out here for Complexity. AWP in the hands of PTR, who's yet to find himself on the board. But I have no fear that this will be the round that he gets a 3K. It's a bold statement, I know, but I have a feeling that tonight is going to be a decent night, Harry.
Every night's a decent night, Trace, when you're here up at, what's the time now? 4 a.m. in Copenhagen.
4 a.m. in the morning, and the windows have been broken there in the halls. Of course, Complexity trying to get something going, but a very, very much pressure defense here in this SK Gaming. Bit of a run boost there towards the Ivy. So far, map control not looking too hot here for Complexity, Harry.
No, they've been pretty restricted thus far. They haven't really gained too much. The double Molotov to force for now Pop Dog is nice. At least now lets them have a man slide down. But look at this from Stewie. He's gone aggressive. He's about to catch them unaware, and Def goes down. Now Slemmy, very awkward spot. He's midway on the ladder. He has to try and take one of these fights, and Fur's wrapped around back beneath him. So
what on earth?
He will not last long. Just Android. Oh, just Android. Now his teammate going to go down before his very eyes.
I fear that Complexity has woken a sleeping giant. Android not going down without a fight just yet. He does have the AK. He's able to secure a kill on the Coldzera before Fallen just shuts the round down. And now Complexity heading back to Brokeville, at which they were at before this round. Before that round.
They can join me there too. Why not? We can all be poor together.
Listen, I don't much feel inclined to talk about your financial situation, Harry.
Well, you know, maybe I do.
Tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a loan at 300% interest.
That sounds just brilliant. You know, sign me up, Trace.
Yeah, I'll do that for you. Just like Yaster is going to do that for Fur, giving him the Deagle for the discounted price of free. There's a weapon now in the hands of Yaster. Molotov thrown there in that middle side of T connector. Try to back off this Complexity lineup from getting any footing, getting any sort of start into the round in what could be their first round on the board. Currently 4-0. If you're not able to watch the game, you're listening from work. Heidi ho, neighbor. Welcome. SK Gaming versus Complexity. A minute left on the clock, and it's going to be an inner hit here from Complexity. The bomb is set to go out upper, and Stewie 2K is spotting this from the back of Thomas. He does grab one, grabs a second. And a op kill coming in there from Coldzera. Slemmy, though, able to find a Deagle headshot onto young Stewart, although he's the only one left. And by that, I mean the round's over, 5-0. And now we will finally see some weapons come out here for the Complexity side. Again, an AWP in the hands of PTR, who has yet to find his way on the board. But this SK Gaming starting much more comfortably than they did on Cash. I must say it, Harry. I must say it.
I mean, they look very, very comfortable. And Trace, you're a man who knows a lot about comfort. You know, I've seen you.
What?
You remind me of like a cat. You know, you can just get comfy anywhere. I do love that.
I like to blame the army on that one, honestly.
That's pretty good. That's a
Sleep
nice skill to
when you
pick up.
can, for as long as you can. And right now, you can't be sleeping on this Complexity lineup. Looks like there's going to be a little bit of aggression there. Stewie Decay pushing up in that lower area, taking down the former teammate and Slimmy. And with that information, he didn't spot anyone else there in the halls. However, it's going to be Depp creaking down that ramp, trying to get some sort of retaliation going on this double opt SK Gaming and Fallen Coldzera. Just spread out all over the map. Complexity waiting to get openings in these rounds, but they're just simply not happening, Harry.
No, they are not. And, you know, this is a much more SK-looking SK than what we saw in the previous map.
Sounds good, man.
Well, you know, before they were a Dignitas-looking SK. So now they've risen to the occasion. That's bolts to go ahead and extend this man advantage even more. Coldzera shuts down Ye. And for Complexity, this is a very rude awakening to the team that they are facing. This is not going to be a 16 whatever win once again for Complexity. This is going to be a long grind if they want to stand any chance of winning this map out. Here's Stewie going to go aggressive. Going to take the fight with PTR. He does get legged up. And okay, 20 seconds. He's trying to hold on to the orb. Has been able to tag Stewie, but Coldzera swoops on in to save the day. SK 6-0 up. And
6-0, Harry.
yeah, much better half already from SK.
I'm gonna quote the great Jason O'Toole when I say, "You love to see that."
Yeah, famously a Jason quote.
Yeah, I don't think it originated with him.
I don't think it did either.
Sounds like something when you
I'm fairly certain it was a Henry quote.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. I was going to say one of you Islander people would have said.
One of us Island, yeah. We just have to look, who's actually at events, and then you figure it out. That's where it comes from. Here's SK up 6-0. They're a team that's also at events. And they're probably feeling pretty good about this. Complexity going to go charging into the B-bomb site. Stewie misses that opening spray. Now he has to try and get a handle on this very, very quickly. And coldzera, how does he land that second shot? I'm not even sure if he saw him. He's going to drop PTR. So now it's just Android and Slemmy left alive at 2 versus 4. And SK, they have not taken their foot off the throttle in this second map. Android going to try and go blow for blow with Fur as he sneaks up through the ladder. Android spots the weapon, does manage to find that kill at least. So it's a 2 versus 3. And Slemmy inside the site. The new brains behind this Complexity roster. He's going to go down and Android falls shortly after. So Defuse will come in. SK 7-0. They're looking to get some revenge for that previous performance over on Cash.
Yeah, that combo there inside with Stewie and coldzera really putting just a thorn in the side of Complexity. Unable to really get anything going. Unable to really get out in the site. They do get the bomb down. But not much more after that. And right now, SK Gaming is in the driver's seat. 7-0 is the score line as we head into the 8th round. coldzera going to take this middle pick, but no one's going to be there to challenge him. With that, it's going to be a more aggressive look here from Complexity. They do have weapons on their backs. And they are out into this outer bomb site. Yacer opens up the round with a kill on the bolts. coldzera coming in with a kill on Android. And now PTR and Slimmy have also joined the fight as well. So it's just up to Stewie and Fallen. And they both chime in with frags. So now at 2 versus 2, and what was certainly in the way of Complexity early on in the round, Depp has managed to bring it back in their favor. Stewie 2K, the only member of SK Gaming left. M4 kit, full armor, but only 73 HP. Does have a smoke. Not sure what he could do with that outside of the normal trickery where he just jumps through it, but only time will tell. Of course, the bomb hasn't been planted yet. It's actually down in that A bomb site. Should be planted relatively shortly. I would be very surprised to not see Stewie go for this as soon as he hears the bomb plant going on. They do have Depp there working that back hall and old bomb area. Seems as though they know he might be in the Z connector. But, well, the patience game is on Stewie's side. The time is on his side. The plant hasn't even come in yet. And now Depp set up in a very advantageous spot there underneath Heaven. The bomb plant is going to be going down. Stewie's going to creep out. Probably going to get shot in the back any second. Oh my goodness, how have they not seen him? There it is. Depp ending the round out. Started strong. Complexity feeling that much more aggressive style, working out much more in their favor rather than what they were doing before, I suppose. Getting their first round on the board. 7-1 is the score currently as we go into the 9th round. 2 balls, 1 strike. I'm going to run her on 3rd. Here's the pitch. You're not a baseball man. I'm out of here.
Look, Trace, I have no
You're
culture.
killing me, dude.
Okay?
You're killing me, Smalls.
I've seen 3 films my whole life. I'm 9 years old.
Fallen just saw PTR, and that didn't last very long. Fallen also saw Android, taking him down as well. In what has been a disastrous round thus far on the back of a first-round victory there for Complexity. Now only leaving 3 members of their lineup alive. And Bolts, my man has done it. He's taking down Yaster. So now Depp and Slimmy left to try to redeem this round for Complexity. But, well, in all reality, it's just about mission impossible. Bomb is down. But definitely not planted. Slimmy's going to get spotted out. Pants down in the open. Shut down by Bolts. And now Depp with the AWP. Molotov in hand. Head armor. And I'm going to say not a chance versus 5 members of SK Gaming. Still alive here. I like to call that a tactical reset, Harry. A tactical reset. SK Gaming let them win that round so that then they could win this next round and ultimately set themselves up in a good fiscal situation going forward to the rest of the half.
They are definitely playing the long game, but sure. It's going to be 5 alive for SK. Plenty of money starting to build up for the CT side. For Complexity, no such joy can be found. Instead, their money has run dry. Their resources that were once, I was going to say abundant, but they never were. They've always been pretty unfortunate in terms of the money. They've gone for an eco into this. They've bought up on a few of these players. This is a very confusing situation because they've They bought it down on two of these guys. Now they can't afford to buy into the next. And Android just dies, you know, nice and easy to Fallen. Just walks out.
Oof.
Yep, no, not a P can't be taken anytime soon. Fallen in with a second. And there's no joy to be found here because Complexity can't even really buy into the next round. They'd be pretty strapped for cash on two of these players. Certainly not going to have an AWP anytime soon.
Oof, Stewie taking a considerable amount of damage there from the Deagle of PTR and that lower ramp on inside. But in a 2 versus 5, well, I stand corrected. Fallen hitting a great shot there. And Fur closing out the round with a kill on the PTR. Just like that, 9-1 is upon us. The money situation is not looking super hot there for Complexity. Meanwhile, over in SK Gaming, they are stacking the bank. Racks on racks, Harry. Racks.
Yeah, there's so much money there. There is, and I don't even know what to do if you're Complexity at this point. You're just getting schooled everywhere you go. Let's just maybe keep it simple. Go for some sort of fast play, and then they go into pop dog. They go charging in. Fur's able to win that first duel, and he doubles back around. He's not done yet. Still has more ammo. Going to swap out to the Deeg. It does get shut down. The bomb has been retrieved. But now they lose Def, so it is just Android at 1v4. Bomb on his back.
You can look at the result right here thus far, and you can compare it to last map, and it's just a night and day difference in the style, and I think the approach even SK Gaming has here. They seem much more confident, much more aggressive. They seem much more forceful about anything that they want to do or dictate across the map, and blatantly Complexity's playing into that. We saw one glimpse of them going fast ladder one round, and they saw a little bit of success there. That might have even been their first round on the board. But as it stands, this Complexity lineup is not going to get anywhere with this SK Gaming defense as it is.
No, not at all. You know, SK, they've really heated up. Speaking of heating up, Trace, how on earth do you wear a hoodie in here? You know, I've seen you do it a couple of times.
You're also wearing a hoodie, Harry.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, this is my first time doing it, and I feel like I'm going to just pass out any second.
Drink water.
I know. Well, you can see I've got 4 bottles of this stuff right here, and I'm churning through it. The thing that concerns me with these waters is it says add water on the side, and I kind of hope that was already in there. But who knows? Nice shot from Android. Tell you what, he's looking fluid like water as he picks that up. Going to go charging out towards A. Only has 15 seconds, and yep, coldzera gets rid of him. 10-1. SK reach double digits, and for Complexity, they've got 1 solitary round, no money. And they are down in the dumps. We have got to do some quick maths here. 17 kills for the entire Complexity roster. Fallen and coldzera sitting on 14 and 13 respectively. Yeah, they're only a few kills away from having more than all the Complexity combined.
How about that, Harry? Quick maths brought to you by Harry. Children's book. Look forward in your local books a million. Android opening the round up there for Complexity, not dooming them right off the bat, taking down Fur with the Deagle. Or Bolts brings it back to even strength and even numbers. Fallen says, nah, we're not going to have any of that. Android's going to follow his AWP. A headshot even at that. Totally unnecessary, but he does it anyway. And he does it again to Yaster. Bolts and Stewie coming in with frags on the Slimmy depth. And a round that ended as fast as it started, Harry. Boom.
Yeah, I don't even know what to do if you're Complexity at this point. Like, they just, you know, it always feels bad to say, like, you know, when you trivialize the game so much, just say the issue is that they're not getting kills, but that kind of is the issue, right? I don't think we've really seen an opening duel go their way at all this half. So
this doesn't seem like appropriate pressure applied by Complexity anywhere as a B side. Fallen pushing pushing inner upper now with AWP and starting the round off with the frag on a depth. You can see just a no respect style here from SK now. Fur, coldzera finding frags as well, leaving Yaster and PTR. You're seeing a much more confident SK on this map. They know with an 11-1 lead, they can pretty much get away with murder anywhere they look for it. And anywhere they found it thus far has been ultimately a punishment to Complexity. Yaster and Dirty Peak Pete are the only one left. Peter's sitting at a Branch 2 and 12. Yaster taking out coldzera though. Trying to make some magic happen. He's going to be eliminated by Fur's AWP. That's right, Fur with the AWP. And Stewie ending the round out there with a frag onto PTR. 12-1. Heading into the 14th round. Feels good, man.
I don't even know what to say, but yeah. 12-1. SK, sure. This is what we should have seen on Cash Trace. There's no doubt about it. Complexity, their winning streak might be... Oh, that's a miss nade. Doesn't find any damage, it doesn't really matter. Let's see, can Complexity surprise us? Can they get a few rounds in at the end and make this maybe a bit more of a respectable half? There's so much money on the side of SK, it's going to be a very, very grueling fight for Complexity to win out. But there's still a chance at a 12-3 half. As unlikely as that might be, coldzera rather, he has been on point, as has Fallen. There's been no getting past this double orb setup. You feel like even if they beat the rifle players, even if they kill Fur, who's been a real issue, even if they kill Stewie, who's been anchoring the B-bomb site, they still have to get past Fallen and coldzera, and that just isn't happening. Across the map, it's decimation from the AWPing duo on SK. They've finally had one missed shot from Cole, but straight away they go into the waiting maws of Stewie, and he just eats them all day long. It's Android 1v4. He's knocking on heaven's door at this point, and Fallen, he's going to finish him off. 13-1.
That's right, Harry. That is the score. 13-1. 15th round here in this matchup. And it's going to be one of those that, well, dare I say, Complexity... I don't know. They need to... What would it be? Kick the tires and light the fires, Harry.
Yeah, that is your one of your many catchphrases, Trace.
No, that one's not mine. I borrowed it.
That's true. That is true also. But can Yay? Just the Android's dead, and Fallen's gonna go back. Does actually miss that shot, so maybe he dies here. Maybe he does go down. There's a chance coldzera is gonna get rid of Def in the meantime. Our boy from the British Isles does not last long. Yeah, he's gone through this smoke. Do they see this coming? No, they don't, but it doesn't matter because he's taking his time. Maybe this creates some space. Maybe he finds one. Yeah, he does do that, but then Fur trades. They've dropped coldzera 2-on-2. Just Fallen and Fur left, and there's a shot from PTR. So now Fallen, he falls, and Fur 1v2. M4 in hand, no utility in this lengthy flank coming in. If he could find the kill onto PTR, then this round becomes very, very possible, but it all comes down to this first duel, and Peter's locking down the angle. Surely he does not give this up. Gonna miss the shot onto Fur. He's giving him away back in, and now it's a 1v1. Can SK go 14-1 to end the half? Fur, who had a very, very shy performance in the first map, now trying to clutch out 1v2.
Oh my.
Slimy's gonna win it. 10 HP and a dream. He locks in a second round for Complexity, but that is all. 13-2 at the end of the first half. Just an unreal performance from SK. And over on the side of Complexity, they're going to be feeling pretty demotivated, all things considered. I mean, it was a very, very good performance over on Cash, but since getting on to Trade, it's been the SK show. They have utterly derailed this Complexity side. They want to try and punch their ticket to a favorable seed in the finals. And, well, they've been conducting themselves in just a phenomenal way.
Yeah, and looking at these numbers, Harry, it's kind of hard to deny exactly what's going on here. Not a whole lot of firepower coming out from Complexity. They're not really finding themselves in situations where they can win these duels. Then again, on the other side, SK Gaming playing the Counter-Strike we know them to be able to play, set up for good trades. They're in the right positions, and they're able to effectively put a good fight down on this Complexity lineup. But this pistol round could change the tide of the war. 13-2 at the half, and it looks like it's going to be a rather concerted, or dare I say concentrated effort from SK Gaming here on this pistol round on this inner bomb site. All 5 members having worked their way up into those brown halls. And I'm not sure, but there's a chance that Android got that information. However, Complexity playing in the very back of the train yard here on the inner site in both Slimmy and Yaster. And Slimmy actually getting the opening kill of the round onto Stewie 2K from a distance, which does give it a little bit of a chance, but the bomb will be planted. And Fur's going to take down PTR. Yaster, not out of the round just yet, but Android is. Bolts is going to take him down pretty easily there with the P250 in the backline. coldzera coming in to take down Yaster. And Slimmy still in the fight in a 2v2. Dep Slimmy, fallen Bolts, and the skirmish is on here in the site. Quite a bit of a duel. He does try to go up the ladder. Fallen's punished for that, though. Now he's on the bomb. The grenade does kill Slimmy, the diffuser, which does create a pretty awkward situation. The diffuser's coming on. And can he get the knife off? And he does. My goodness, that was rather closer than it needed to be, Harry. My goodness. Take it away.
Yeah, well, back to the studio. That was good. 14-2. SK, they're probably gonna win now. You know, don't want to.
Hey, don't count your eggs before they hatch, Harry.
No, I know, and I have done that. But even if the egg doesn't hatch, and I don't get a chicken out of it, you know, you still get a breakfast.
Yeah, but you already have a chicken. You know.
Well, yeah, but still, like, you want more. You know, you don't just want the one. I imagine. Maybe you don't. Maybe you didn't want this one chicken you got to begin with. Maybe we shouldn't even be talking about chickens anyway. Fallen tries to run away just like one of those animals in question, but kills go left and right. Somehow Complexity, they've come out ahead. Man of Eyes in favor. Never mind. Cold Zero takes that away. It's been a very, very back and forth round. I don't know what's going on anymore. It's Android and Def 2v2 versus Cold Zero and Bolt. A duo that I would not want to face up against anytime soon myself.
Are you scared, Harry?
I am terrified. In particular, one man, Cold Zero. He's going to go blow for blow with Def. He's looked crisp. There we go, finishes him off. It's Android, who had a good performance in the first map. Going to try and win this out, but Cold Zero shuts him down. Stewie and Cold to get this 15th round locked in for SK. 15-2. And now for Complexity. Yeah, 13 rounds in a row does seem like probably too much.
I've got to say, the only thing looking more crisp than this SK Gaming lineup right now is Halvor's haircut. That's one crisp-ass haircut. It's right there. What do you have to say about that, Harry?
I mean, I think, you know, if you want to talk about...
The funny thing is, we can say anything we want to about them right now, and then they can fume about it for the next few minutes. The ball's in your court. Just think about all these guys who've been bullying you this whole time. Anyway, let's take a look here. Cold Zero Bolts going to go ahead and try to make quick work of this ecoing on the last round. Complexity bought everything that they could, but ultimately just too much work on their plate. And Def is the lone survivor there, dare I say. And it's not even going to be for that long. He does fall, and SK Gaming and Complexity have split maps. A line that I never thought I would be saying tonight, but certainly I have said it. And with that, we could probably tie in the analyst just about now. Of course, with the Xfinity analyst test, these guys are usually up to no good, but I think they're going to do great today.
Usually up to no good, still up to no good, but everything's back to normal, boys. The world's in the right place.
Finally.
A little bit of a Radiohead throw out there. Yeah, big victory for SK. You do like to see that. And yeah, Complexity, this is kind of the two teams that we expected to see in the first map.
Definitely. I mean, I don't know why SK had to do that on Cash, let's be honest. It was totally unreasonable. But Complexity, credit where credit is due. They did have a nice first game. So, yeah. They did have a nice first game.
Yeah. Luckily, like, we're keeping things together. Unlike Trace, it's
Trace
just become a hot mess.
Pulling all the equipment off the desk.
Had one job, just like leave the desk, messes that up.
Yes.
Almost as bad as Complexity messed up on train. That wasn't pretty.
That was even worse right there.
Was this just a return to form individually for SK, or was this just kind of like a...
These are just like how a normal day would look like.
Yeah.